You are in the middle of a conversation and something happens. Maybe someone says something unfair. Maybe you are being criticized in front of others. Maybe you are in an argument and you know exactly what you want to say. You can feel the words forming somewhere deep inside you. But when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. Or worse, something comes out, but it is not what you meant at all. It is smaller, quieter, more apologetic than the truth you were trying to speak. And afterward, alone in your car or lying in your bed, the perfect response finally arrives, clear and complete, exactly what you should have said. You replay the moment over and over, wondering why your brain betrayed you when you needed it most. Welcome to Intelevo Mind, where today we are going deep into the neuroscience of what researchers are calling the cognitive shutdown, the biological reason your brain literally mutes your own voice at the exact moment you need it most.
The cognitive shutdown is not a personality flaw. It is not weakness. It is not a sign that you are bad at communicating or that you do not have the intelligence to express yourself. It is a hardwired neurological response that has been built into the human brain over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. Here is what is actually happening inside your skull when you freeze. The moment your brain perceives a social threat, whether that is conflict, judgment, rejection, or humiliation, it triggers the same ancient alarm system that your ancestors used when they encountered a physical predator. Your amygdala, which is the brain's threat detection center, fires an emergency signal that floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Blood flow is redirected away from your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for language, reasoning, and articulate thought, and toward your muscles and survival systems. In other words, your brain is preparing you to run or fight, not to speak. And in that neurological state, your voice is the first casualty.
Here at Intelevo Mind, we believe that understanding the mechanism behind your behavior is the first step to changing it. So let us go even deeper into why social threats trigger such a powerful shutdown response. For most of human history, being rejected by your social group was not just emotionally painful, it was a death sentence. Humans who were cast out from their tribes did not survive. This means that over thousands of generations, the human brain evolved to treat social rejection with the same level of urgency as physical danger. Your brain genuinely cannot tell the difference between someone criticizing you in a meeting and a lion charging at you in the wild. The threat response is identical. And because the stakes feel so high, your brain does something extraordinary to protect you. It silences you. Because in the ancient environment your brain was designed for, saying the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong moment could get you killed. Silence was sometimes the safest survival strategy available, and your brain has never forgotten that lesson.
If this is a universal human response, then why do some people seem completely unbothered by conflict, while others freeze entirely? The answer lies in a combination of neurobiology and early life experience that creates what researchers call a threat sensitivity baseline. People who grew up in environments where expressing their thoughts or emotions led to punishment, ridicule, or abandonment develop a nervous system that is calibrated to detect social danger at extremely low thresholds. Their amygdala becomes hypervigilant, scanning every interaction for potential threat and triggering the shutdown response at the slightest sign of tension. This is not a choice. This is a nervous system that learned, through repeated painful experience, that speaking up is dangerous. Additionally, research shows that people with higher levels of cortisol reactivity, which is partly genetic, experience more intense and longer-lasting cognitive shutdowns than people with lower reactivity. This means that for some people, the neurological deck is genuinely stacked against them in high-stakes conversations, and no amount of willpower alone is going to change that without understanding what is actually happening in the brain.
Now let us talk about something that virtually everyone who experiences cognitive shutdown knows intimately: the phenomenon of thinking of exactly what you should have said hours after the moment has passed. In French, there is actually a phrase for this, called l'esprit de l'escalier, which translates roughly to the spirit of the staircase, referring to the perfect comeback you think of on the way out the door. But why does this happen neurologically? When the immediate social threat passes and your nervous system begins to downregulate, blood flow returns to your prefrontal cortex. Your language centers come back online. Your working memory, which was essentially hijacked by the threat response, begins to function normally again. And suddenly, the words that were locked away during the shutdown become available. This is not a sign of slow thinking. It is a sign that your brain's threat response was doing exactly what it was designed to do, prioritizing survival over articulation, and then releasing its grip once the danger had passed.
So what do you actually do with this information if you are someone who consistently experiences cognitive shutdown in high-stakes moments? The first and most important thing to understand is that you cannot think your way out of a neurological response in the moment it is happening. Telling yourself to calm down or just speak up while your amygdala is firing at full capacity is like trying to have a rational conversation during a fire alarm. The rewiring has to happen before the moment, not during it. Neuroscientists recommend a practice called vagal toning, which involves deliberately activating the vagus nerve through slow, extended exhale breathing to train your nervous system to downregulate more quickly under stress. Extended exhale breathing, where your exhale is twice as long as your inhale, directly signals your parasympathetic nervous system to override the threat response and restore blood flow to your prefrontal cortex. Over time, consistent practice of this technique literally changes the structure of your threat response, raising your threshold for shutdown and giving your voice a fighting chance in the moments that matter most.
Your brain is not betraying you when it mutes your voice. It is doing exactly what millions of years of evolution designed it to do. But you are living in the 21st century, not the ancient savannah, and the social threats you face today rarely require the same survival response that kept your ancestors alive. The cognitive shutdown is a mismatch between an ancient brain and a modern world, and understanding that mismatch is the beginning of genuine neurological freedom. You have a voice. It has always been there, waiting beneath the shutdown, fully formed and ready to speak. The work is not to find your voice. The work is to teach your nervous system that it is finally safe enough to let it out. Here at Intelevo Mind, our mission is to bring you the psychological and neuroscientific truths that help you understand your own mind more deeply than you ever thought possible. If this video gave you language for something you have felt your entire life, then please subscribe to Intelevo Mind right now. Every single week, we go deep into the brain science and psychology that most people never get access to. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join our growing community of people who are committed to understanding themselves and living with more freedom, more clarity, and more authentic power. Your voice matters, and your brain can learn to let it speak.